What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Trey Jones. Today I'm going to be giving you 10 habits anxiety sufferers need to change today. Go ahead and smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Let's get proactive. Let's fill that comment section up down below. I want to know which of these habits you are dealing with on a daily basis. Sharing is caring. You could be helping somebody else in the audience, so make sure that you leave a comment down there. Guys, first off, you are not alone at all. I dealt with all 10 of these, some more than others, but definitely at some point dealt with every single one of these. I know many of you are dealing with this too. We want to get on a more positive road, leave the negativity behind. That's important for recovery of any anxiety disorder out there. So guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. The first one, stop staying on social media all day. Okay, maybe 1-2 hours is acceptable. And I know some of you have jobs that require this. I am one of those, but I still can limit it to 2 hours a day. Maybe I shouldn't, but for my sanity, I limit it to about 2 hours a day as best as I can. Now, there's a lot of negativity associated with news outlets like Yahoo, TMZ, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I know some of you are in support groups or following motivational pages, and that's great, but there tends to just be a lot of negativity online. Why? Because that stuff sells. And it's weird, as an anxiety sufferer, we tend to cling to entertainment, but not just entertainment, negative content, drama. For whatever reason, we think it makes us feel better, but all it does is it holds us back, okay? So make sure that we are not sitting on social media all day. Also, studies show that if you are on social media, instead of actually having real human interactions, getting outside of the house, you can tend to be more depressed in the long run. We need that as human beings. We need to talk to people in person. So I challenge you to go out to dinner with somebody that you haven't in a long time, invite your family over, cook for them, maybe have a game night, a movie night, something like that. Interact with people, have real conversations, okay? I challenge you to do that. The next one, guys, is stop Googling your symptoms. I know this is primarily for people with health anxiety, but just in general, anxiety sufferers worry about their health. We get a bunch of nasty symptoms that are associated with anxiety. I was no stranger to that. I had every symptom in the book, in specific, more so heart symptoms. So I would have the chest pain, high blood pressure, high heart rate. So I would look up these symptoms, and of course the worst thing is gonna be at the top, because why? That sells, and also it's the most serious. So at the very top, it's gonna say that you are having a heart attack, and that's terrifying. And this would lead me down a horrible road. And I did this with so many diseases, so many forms of cancer, many different heart diseases, many degenerative diseases. I had horrible health anxiety for 5 years. I never felt better at the end of a Googling session. I always felt worse at the end. So do yourself a favor, accept anxiety. You need to see a real doctor, get a real evaluation by a professional. And I guess I thought I had all the credentials. I thought I was a doctor. I could read a few symptoms and say, hey, I have heart disease. I'm having 5 to 10 heart attacks a day. They're not panic attacks, I'm a beast. I'm getting through all these heart attacks. I don't know why, but that was just my irrationality. We can tend to be very irrational when we have anxiety. So stop Googling your symptoms. Go see an actual doctor. All right, I never felt better after that. Okay, so stop constantly checking your vital signs. It kind of goes right into this. Another one that tends to be for health anxiety sufferers, but as an anxiety sufferer, we have all been like, whoa, my heart's beating really fast. Whoa, my blood pressure is beating really fast. The first thing you need to do is, like I mentioned in tip number 2, stop Googling your symptoms. You need to go see a doctor for reassurance. If you do not have a heart problem, if you do not have an actual chronic blood pressure problem or, a genetic blood pressure problem, or you're not in bad health, anxiety can make your heart rate faster than normal. It can make your blood pressure faster than normal. I remember driving to Walgreens and Walmart 5 times a day because I didn't have my own blood pressure machine or heart rate machine. And I would check this 5 times a day, building myself up, working myself up. And by the time I checked it, it was, like 140, 150 over 95. And that was like the normal for me. Also, my heart rate never got below 100, it seemed, unless I was like in a deep sleep. So my heart rate was always tremendously fast. Obviously, my heart rate and blood pressure was even more fast whenever I was having panic attacks, which I would have 5 to 10 times a day. So I never had good readings for blood pressure and heart rate. Also, if you have heart rate or blood pressure apps on your phone, delete those damn things, okay? Get rid of them. They're gonna hold you back. okay? So if you're in good health, you have an anxiety disorder, you've been diagnosed, accept that, move on, take that reassurance, stop checking all day long, okay? And in fact, you're not gonna be getting accurate readings, especially with your blood pressure, if you're checking it all day long. The next one, guys, stop comfort eating or binge eating. I was guilty of this. Luckily, I didn't gain a ton of weight. Some people are not so lucky, but I was a guy at 2 or 3 in the morning, feeling like crap, feeling depressed, hovering in the fridge, eating deli meat and cheeses. I was eating tons of sweets, sucking down sodas, things that would make me feel good just for a little while. This made things worse. We have to be eating healthy foods. Finally, I learned and I started eating right, and that was a big part of my recovery. More fruits, more vegetables, a plant-based diet. And we want to cut out the junk food. We want to cut out the caffeine. Caffeine's horrible for anxiety in general. A ton of sugar is not great. Dairy isn't great for anxiety. A lot of processed food. We want to stick with some lean meat. So a plant-based diet with lean meats. Make sure that you're getting your vitamins, your daily vitamin in particular for your anxiety recovery. So make sure you're doing that. The next one, guys, is stop self-medicating, okay? I mentioned caffeine. I'm gonna even throw that in there. But mainly tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. You can get into this horrible cycle, become addicted like I did. I was using alcohol and tobacco to get me through my afternoons and evenings whenever I would get off work, because that's when my symptoms would start to come up. I would do that to try to numb myself, numb the pain, numb the symptoms, and then I would wake up the next morning feeling like death. I would have an anxiety hangover, which meant I had a hangover with all the anxiety symptoms combined. I felt like I was going to die. Every symptom was much more intense. My panic attacks were much, much worse. Then I would have to drink to make that go away. So, horrible cycle. You can become heavily addicted to certain, drugs. You can become heavily addicted to alcohol, tobacco, and you can start relying on that. It becomes depressing over time. The next one, guys, stop trying to control everything. I was a control freak whenever I was going through my anxiety disorder, and for some of you, this can actually be a root cause of your anxiety. What many of you don't realize is that you have the key to set yourself free. You're in this cage. This cage is you thinking that you can control everything. Now, I am religious. Eventually, I gave everything to God. I was like, look, I can't do this anymore. I'm not in control. You are. I'm going to let you maneuver me through this life, guide me. But guys, if you're not religious, look, the universe is in control, okay? If you're not religious, you don't have a personal God, then the universe is in control. The sooner that you accept that and embrace it even, the better you're going to feel. Like I said, you have the key to that. Stop trying to control everything. For instance, I was such a control freak. I thought I was controlling my diagnosis and my disease, okay? For instance, I was terrified to go to the doctor in the beginning whenever I was having chest pains because I was scared that I was going to get diagnosed with heart disease, so I would just not go, thinking that maybe I could defy the odds and cure it before I would get diagnosed, or just since I didn't get diagnosed, I didn't have it, okay? I was such a control freak that I would do things like that. And sometimes, unfortunately, this can spill over into your personal lives, trying to control friends, family members, relationships, significant others. Guys, the sooner that you realize that you need to let it go and just accept everything for what it is, life is an experience, stop trying to control every aspect, the better you're going to feel. It's easier said than done. The next one, guys, is oversleeping or undersleeping. I'm not talking about insomnia necessarily, although I did deal with that a lot. I'm talking about people that aren't really having sleeping issues, but you're just staying up late at night, either doing comfort eating, playing video games, self-medicating. I would stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, partying and drinking to numb my symptoms so I wasn't getting to bed at a decent time. And then I would sleep all the way till 2, 3, 4 the next day if I had to go to work or whatever. And it was just horrible, okay? We do not need to be oversleeping. We need to get up. That is time that we can be using to help our anxiety recovery process, much, much faster. You need to be up meditating. You need to be up journaling. You need to be making a good breakfast. You need to be exercising, doing all the important things, positive affirmations. Maybe you need to go see a therapist in the afternoon. Stop sleeping your day away. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about people with insomnia. There are a lot of you suffering from that. I encourage you to go check out my video, best nightly routine for anxiety and insomnia. It's all about getting a routine together. You can start to change your life that way and get better sleep, but we're trying to get anywhere from like 7 to 9 hours, okay? Everybody is different. Some people don't even need but about 6, okay? Some of you need 8 or 9. I'm a guy that needs my 8 hours of sleep. I just do. So get the necessary sleep to make your chances of recovery much, much higher. All right, the next one, guys, is needing too much reassurance. Okay, I always tell people that deal with health anxiety, you need to get that initial reassurance. I said initial. I don't mean every single day reassurance, okay? You do need to get your reassurance from a doctor or a therapist or a psychologist that you indeed have anxiety and no physical issues and that you are not going crazy. You need that, okay? But if you're asking people daily, daily, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Let me give you an example. I have a Facebook group. It'll be down below for anxiety, okay? Anxiety sufferers, you're welcome to join that group. But there'll be some people in the group that'll say, anybody dealing with chest pain? I feel like I'm dying, I'm having a heart attack. That'll get 200 comments. Yes, I deal with the same thing. I deal with the same thing. You would think that they got some reassurance. It was like, wow, I'm not alone. Now I'm gonna start working on this. And the very next day, same post. Who else is dealing with chest pain? I feel like I'm having a heart attack. 200 more people say, yeah, me too, I'm dealing with that. That's too much reassurance. You are asking every single day, and the problem that you're gonna find yourself having is that you're not moving forward. You're not accepting it. You're just relying on this reassurance every single day to get you through your day. You're not making any progress, okay? The next one, guys, is being a sitting duck. That means basically being idle, not moving, just sitting in one spot all day. Or it doesn't have to necessarily mean you're sitting in bed or just sitting on your phone all day. It can mean just not doing anything proactive towards your recovery, okay? You're not changing your diet, you're not exercising, you're not trying out therapy, you're not meditating, you're not journaling, you're not trying to watch any YouTube videos like this, you're not subscribed to YouTube channels like this, you're not part of support groups, you're not trying to work on your addictions. Guys, you have to be proactive. Stop sitting in one spot thinking that, well, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I won't have anxiety. It's all up to you. The last one, guys, is running from triggers or fears, and this is a big one, okay? There's something called exposure therapy, and that's little by little exposing yourself to your fear. If you don't ever face your fear, you're never going to overcome this. Quick example, I was terrified of having heart disease. Excuse me, I was terrified of having that. So anything associated with the heart freaked me out. Even seeing and reading the word heart would make my heart rate go up. Pretty unbelievable, but that was something that I was terrified of. I was terrified of reading articles about people that had heart attacks. I was terrified of listening to the radio or even watching TV because I was scared I was gonna hear something about a heart clinic or see a smoking commercial, see the scar down the middle of their chest where they had open heart surgery from a heart attack. I had to get over that, and little by little I started just exposing myself to those fears, and it helped me. Yes, I still dealt with health anxiety later on down the road with issues like cancer and, like I mentioned earlier, degenerative diseases, but in the beginning it was primarily my heart, and after 2.5 years, I stopped worrying about it by exposing myself to that fear. You need to do that. I don't know what your fear is, but little by little you have to conquer that. If not, you are not gonna overcome your fear, and you're gonna still deal with anxiety. Guys, I hope you got some benefit out of this. If you have not tried any therapy, there is a link down below. It's free to sign up. Make sure that you try that out. Thank you for sticking around. If you made it to this point, put down below in the comment section, I made it. You're my ride to die subscriber, and I appreciate that. I need people to stick around and watch these videos. It's important to me. It's important that you are getting the help that you need. It's important that you are listening to all of the tips. So make sure that you check out the description down below. Online therapy is there. My tips for anxiety are there. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell so you get updates when I put these videos out. Make sure that you like this video, and again, leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. I will talk to you guys later. Until then, bye.